Today when Miss Aria was cycling out market and accidentally met Miss Nora, Miss Chloe, Miss Nora saw Miss Aria bringing sticky rice to the market to sell. Immediately spoke up to greet Miss Aria again. Bring sticky rice to the market to sell? Yes. Where are you two going so early, Peter? The village's communal house of the ladies in our Peter hamlet. I often go there to exercise in the morning. Every day she goes out there to practice with me. Peter. Just for fun. I'm old and have to try to practice. To improve your health. She said you should wait until the next day. If I have a chance, I will practice with the ladies. After a few pleasantries, Miss Aria. Continue to transport your Zoe to Miss Nora market. And Miss Chloe continues to walk the village family. After walking for a while, Miss Chloe started searching something to talk to Miss Nora about. Bored Miss Chloe told Miss Nora, Miss Aria, neighbors. I'm good. My husband passed away early and I'm selling alone. Sticky rice to feed my 3 children now. Everyone is successful and has a house in the city. Another street. She can rely on her in her old age. My children are okay. I don't know. Can she rely on her children for anything? She doesn't see that Miss Aria is still there every day. I have to boil it and take it to the market to sell. Heard the neighbors around her house talking. That Miss Aria's 3 children are famous. Is living in the city but never. Now I send money home to my mother. Sometimes it even comes on New Year's Day. They don't even bother to go home. Really? Miss Aria's children again. Are you that fat? That's why I told you. Luckily, our child just did it. Just a field in the countryside, but what you get is Peter. If he is filial to you, there is no need to worry. When she got old and sick, no one took care of Miss Nora and her grandmother. Hyde talked calmly as he walked. Pretend they feel sorry for Miss Aria. It's hard to raise 3 children until they grow up. Peter had money but wiped out all his gratitude. My mother's that night she just got the electricity. How about calling my 3 children? Another day is the day of your husband's coaxing. Call to remind your children. The first person Miss Aria called was Mark. Mrs. Mark's eldest son is married. Family and established his own company. Specializes in real estate. After a while. Only after ringing a long bell did there be someone on the other end of the line. Picked up the phone. Mark's voice rang out. How to get angry at kin on the phone. Hello, child. Listen, I'm calling you for something. No, Mom will call to remind you in a few days. It's the day of coaxing the children's father and husband and wife. Remember to arrange your work and then give it to them. Please go back to your hometown. We can't go back. Mom, our company has many. I have a lot of projects so I can't take a break. Mom called me. The other 2 told him to go home and comfort his mother. Okay, I'm very busy right now. I hung up the phone. Here Peter says such a long guy. Without waiting for Miss Aria to speak on the other end of the line. What directly hung up the phone? Miss Aria looked. The phone is buzzing in my hand. I can only sigh dejectedly. Miss Aria continues to call Wei her child. She was lucky to marry my second daughter. Get a rich husband after marriage. Wei's husband has resigned from his job and is staying. The house is a market housewife on this side. Wei. As soon as I picked up the phone, I spoke harshly to the phone. Oh my God, why did you call me at this hour? Hey, do you want your mother-in-law to make things difficult for you? No, I just wanted to call and ask you how much it is. One more day, I will comfort my father. I have arranged to return to my hometown. Can I have no children and return to my husband's hometown? I kicked you out of the house. You know how difficult it is for your husband's family to call me. Tell my 2 sons to come home. I can't go home, or let Mom call. Please allow my husband's family to let me return home. Is it possible to come back to comfort my father once in the new year? The house next door won't give it to me. I'm asking. Mom, don't hurt me anymore even now. Now my mother called to ask for permission. My husband and I won't go home either. I'm married. Of course I have to take care of it. It's my husband's family, so I'll hang up the phone. Here, my mother-in-law and children will cause trouble. It's easy for me to finish talking Wei right away. Miss Aria hung up again, disappointed. Because of her child's attitude, she hugged hope that Peter, his youngest son, would. Don't behave like that, Miss Aria continued. Call Peter, but this time it's Ta. Refused his mother's call to see the I am indifferent to my father's coaxing day. Trin is so sad. 2 tears started flowing down her grandmother's fake face. Trin looked up at the altar. My husband tried to force a smile. Distorted her as if she were talking to her husband as well. As if comforting himself. I'm sure you guys will be busy again this year. Not being able to return to be a funeral for him is impossible. Then I alone comforted him. Okay, don't be sad, my children. Her husband on the altar was still smiling. Miss Aria now tries to wipe away those things. My falling tears that morning. Today, as usual, Miss Aria wakes up early again. To cook sticky rice to sell while she was try to take slow steps. I went down to the kitchen and accidentally caught her. Slipped and fell hard on the floor. This hurts so much that Miss Aria is incompetent. I can't stand up anymore, but the pain persists. From her ankles to her waist. The virginity is now stiff and does not move. Be Miss Aria living alone, she left. I'm still deep in the kitchen, so I try. No matter how much you call. There is no one. Heard to come help her to be helpless Mrs. Trin could only sit there and try. Endured his pain without knowing Mrs. How long had he been sitting there suddenly? At this time, Miss Aria heard the door slamming. I have a very loud call from someone. Ms. Trin, are you home? I'm in the kitchen. Someone help me. And heard calling outside the gate. Miss Aria was the straw that saved her. Trying to suppress the pain in my leg. Use all your strength to answer the call. Outside the gates of Miss Aria. Staying at home is not a habit. Used to locking the gate. She thought it was a conflict. All around are familiar neighbors. There is nothing to lose in her house. So there's no need to lock the gate. I didn't expect this habit to be possible. Help Miss Aria right now, just one. A moment later, there was a shadow of a person walking from the house. The person who came in was Mrs. Van. Her brother-in-law. Mrs. Van came in and saw her sister-in-law. I was sitting on the ground and panicked. Ran towards her and urgently asked her, "What are you doing? I'm falling now. My legs hurt so much I couldn't stand." When Mrs. Van woke up, she became even more worried. Then she quickly ran out to. Thanks to the neighbors around for help. Hurry up, young men inside. The neighbor ran in with Mrs. Van to bring Miss Aria. Go to hospital. After being examined for a while, the doctor left, came out and told Mrs. Van that the patient had a fracture. Does my sister need a cast on her leg? Broke her leg. She just fell once. Doctor, why did you break your leg? Well, the patient is already old. The core is no longer healthy and that fall occurred. Normal for young people, but for an older person like. The patient suffered a very serious fall. Yes. How long will it take for my sister to have her cast removed? If you are a healthy person, you just need to bundle it. Powder a month, but for older people. As long as the patient can wear a cast. Prolong 3 months. After listening to the advice of Dr. Mrs. Van quickly went back to her room. Miss Aria's illness arrived at Mrs. Van's destination. Next to the bed asked Miss Aria her sister. I see what I'm like inside. I'm fine. Just my leg hurts a bit. Let's put it in a cast like this, so how can we cook it? Mrs. Van can still sell sticky rice and listen to her sister-in-law. When I said that, I let out a sigh. Dejectedly, she spoke up to her. Trin, you're old. Why do you have to work so hard? So her children have grown up. They have the responsibility to show filial piety. Sister Chu, they also have their own jobs. It's yours and you can't bother them. To see Miss Aria's attitude like that, Mrs. Van loves her sister-in-law more than letting her go. Not sad anymore. Mrs. Van did not mention it. About that, Mrs. Van quickly left. Go down and buy porridge for Miss Aria. After leaving, Ms. Van exited Miss Aria's hospital room. Immediately took out the phone to call. Mrs. Van's grandchildren know that she is her. Trin doesn't want to bother her children. But this is their responsibility. Miss Aria's children need to be responsible. Taking care of his mother. Mrs. Van called Peter first. After a few rings, the other end of the line rang. He also picked up the phone and Mark's voice rang out. On the phone, Ms. Van called. I'm so early. Is there something wrong, Mom? Of the child who fell and broke his leg while lying inside. The three of us took care of the hospital and arranged the work. I have to go home and take care of my mother. Have you heard? Yes, she said. Why did my mother fall? What did I do to fall? I don't know. Mark's voice is pretty good. I don't know if it's because he's too worried. Worry about your mother or feel that your mother is my burden too. Mrs. Van, listen to me. The boy spoke so harshly that she was very upset. He scolded his nephew over the phone. Why did the mother fall and she couldn't see her child? What are you worried about? Your mother fell because of it. I still have to get up early in the morning to boil it and take it to the market. Sell it to have money to support yourself. As children, why don't you care? Why are you worried about your mother? She said, you guys are going to arrange your work. Take care of your mother. Aunt, now up here. We are very busy with work. How can we go home? If she lives in the countryside, there's nothing she can do to take care of her mother. Please help us and I will send the money back. For me, I don't need to know who you are. Arrange work to return to his mother. Work that you consider more important. My parents are always here. She lives in the countryside and still has merit. I can't be with my mother because of my job. I get a few silver coins all day. Ms. Van did not hesitate to say anything. Directly hung up without giving Mark time. Say one more word, Mark, after listening. After finishing her phone call, I scratched my head. He scratched his ears, showing that he was extremely frustrated. What kind of mistake are you making in your mouth and walking? But to fall, I don't know the end. Peter still took out my phone to report work. This is for my two younger siblings. After hearing that, my attitude immediately became negative. Strangely hate cows like Peter. No one among the three children of Miss Aria appeared. I worry about my mother's health. The next day, Wei returned to the poor countryside. Her face appeared clearly. Hate the surrounding scenery. I just left, she whispered inwardly. Mouth, oh my God, why is this place still there? Being so poor. Wei never got sick. Hospital to visit Miss Aria, now she's back. My old house when Wei returned. Where Mark and Peter were already here. Sitting and talking to each other in the room. Guest Wei went into the house and threw Dai Kai's suitcase. Go to the corner of the house and sit down. Nearby chairs complain about how terrible the sun is. Without knowing this, she went to the hospital with her mother. Before Peter saw his sister, he spoke up. Such a curt sentence. Wei sees you. I asked like that and responded to him. As soon as I get off the plane, I'm going home. Always take a plane for several hours to arrive. I can't smell the smell in the hospital. I can't stand it. So you two came to visit your mother? No, you and Peter, like me, got off the plane. Is to go home. Wei heard her brother say. Then he said it in a very hateful tone. I'm at peace. I'm healing. Why did I fall? I don't know. Did you know that when I opened my mouth to speak? That she wanted to go back to her hometown because her mother had fallen. My husband cursed me. This time I'm home. Surely she has an excuse to make things difficult. Me too. Let's see if I'm a mother. Why do I keep causing trouble? I don't know how annoying it is for my children. You're right. What about you? You know, Mom. If you want to go home alone and catch me. What are you doing? Peter, listen to your sister. Having said that, I immediately agreed with your opinion. Then Peter turned to blame his brother when Mark insisted on capturing him. I returned to this rural place in the city. Peter's commute to work outside is still there. Lots of fun with friends. Peter listens. When my younger siblings asked that, they immediately pointed their fingers in Peter's face and say, you're the boss. Mother fell and didn't come home to take care of her. What do people say about us? You guys have it. I know Ms. Van called me yesterday. Chu poured tears into my face many times. If he doesn't come back again, she'll probably come up all over the city cursing at each of them. But my mother only travels around the village and just doing something at home makes you fall and break your leg. It's so terrible. Peter heard his brother scolding him. So he did it. I don't dare say anything more. Wei listens to me. Having said that, we also ask about the cause of the owl. Peter's mother repeated what Mrs. Van said. Told me Ms. Van said Mom gets up early, cooking sticky rice to sell at the market. That's why I fell. That trouble is still behind you. I'm not sick this afternoon. Let's see how Mom is doing. Peter finished speaking. Wei and Peter did not speak. Everyone has a feeling in their heart. I really hate this old mother of mine. Especially Wei. That's why Wei has an attitude. Being so harsh with my mother is because of the family. Her husband before Wei and her husband Long still loves her now. Each other. Miss Ellie Long's mother vehemently opposed. Because Ji's scene is so bad. If not when she was pregnant, she probably and Long did not get married even though they entered the house. Miss Ellie became a bride but she still didn't be nice to Wei for a while. On the lunar day, pour out all the curses. Miss Ellie's harsh words for her. I hate my mother. That afternoon all three people fell ill. The hospital visits Miss Aria when all three enter. When we got there, Mrs. Van was peeling apples for her mother. I ate. Miss Aria saw the children coming out the door. When I entered, I was very surprised and she spoke up. I wonder why you guys came here. The children are busy with work in the city. I called them back. I fell down. It's so heavy. We need to let them know. Ms. Van quickly answered my question. Miss Aria finished speaking and turned to speak. With my grandchildren. They're back. Don't forget to take good care of your mother. Mrs. Van finished talking about her return before quickly leave the room. After Mrs. Van left, the space was clear. Miss Aria's hospital room fell into silence. Quietly, we are mother and son together now. Seeing all four people again, I don't know how to talk to them. Finally, Peter is the one to step up. Hours ago. Mom, are you still in pain? Mom, it's okay. It's just that the kids are back. Your work in the city is like. Why don't we arrange it ourselves? Be Peter responding to mother's concern. Coldly myself, Wei and Peter. From the moment I entered Miss Aria's hospital room. Now the two of them don't say a word. The eyes looking at his mother were also extremely cold. Looking for Miss Aria in the hospital for two. Peter then was also discharged from the hospital the night before. Trin discharged all three of Mark's brothers from the hospital. Immediately had a meeting with Mark. You should speak up first today. I have something to discuss with my brothers. If there's something wrong, just say it straight away. As if Trin Trong had made Peter lose his patience. Ring said to his brother Wei. Still silently staring at Peter later. When he finished listening to Peter, he started. Speak up tomorrow. My mother will be discharged from the hospital. Then we stayed in the countryside to take care of my mother for a few days. I also have to go to the city to work and then leave. Of course he said that. Why did he do that? Everyone knows that Wei heard what Peter said. So I immediately felt confused and angry. Peter's brother's voice was also very curious. Confused about this statement of Peter he heard. After my brother finished speaking, he immediately answered what he asked. Doctor, my mother broke her leg. It must be true. Wearing a cast for 3 months makes it impossible for the mother to stay under it. The countryside alone with those legs is Ms. Van. Unable to take care of her mother and daughter-in-law. When she was born, she had to take care of her neighbors. I'm also busy with my own work. One of my 3 brothers had to pick up my mother. The city to take care of you. What are you talking about? Heard Peter say this. Both Wei and Peter exclaimed that question in unison after a few minutes. A second of surprise. Peter smirked. Tell your brothers and sisters what's going on. There is no need to discuss Mr. Perter as you, including the responsibility of taking care of the mother, of course. For me, then I can't take care of my mother. We both know that there are 2 more in my family. There are also grandchildren that his wife is also uncomfortable seeing. Mother too. Peter heard his brother say that immediately. Dismiss that thought of Wei. After hearing what my brother said, I was afraid that I would blame him. The responsibility of taking care of my mother will be pushed on me. Quickly say, then leave it to mom. Peter took care of the newlywed couple. They don't have any children, and do they have their own house? It must be so convenient to take care of your mother. Letting Peter is too reasonable. Hey, you can't push the responsibility. The younger brother and his wife just got married. Soon we will have to enjoy it. Married life is good. Listen to your sister. At the mention of my name, Peter immediately burst into tears. And refused. Peter saw his 2 brothers arguing. Making noise like that feels extremely painful. His head spoke up, interrupting the 2 younger siblings. You two, stop arguing. Do you want the neighbors to run over here and curse you? What about you? Also, Wei, you're a girl. Why aren't you? Mom takes care of her 2 sons. What are you doing? Are you okay? I'm living Peter with my husband's family. Do you want your mother-in-law to scold you all day? That won't work for all 3 of you. No one wants to take on the responsibility of caregiving. Miss Aria in the near future. After one heated argument, finally they find a solution. They decided that Miss Aria would stay at everyone's house. 1 month waiting until Miss Aria's legs are healthy. Then I'll take her back to my hometown to live alone. Just like before. I think they're done. Responsibility to his mother, nothing. No need to feel guilty anymore after Miss Aria. After being discharged from the hospital, some people stayed for a few more days. Also brought Miss Aria to the city. For the first month Miss Aria will be at home. By Mark, although he doesn't want to, but as the eldest brother, he couldn't do anything else. Mark called to inform him of the matter. This was for his wife Lean before the beginning. When I first heard my husband inform me that she was no. Agree, Peter also knows this attitude of my wife, so I had to try my best to convince her. Serve her after a few days and get married. In the end, Lean could only convince Y. Cock agreed when Mark brought Miss Aria home. My house and his 2 children. Very happy. Mark has 2 sons, namely Bao and I love you both. My grandmother was very fond of seeing her father take her. Grandma came home. They're playing in the house. Immediately ran out and hugged Miss Aria. Tell Grandma to come play with us. How long will you be in heaven? Grandma's feet. What's wrong with you? You're in so much pain. No, they're like 2 birds. Young So constantly asked to weld Miss Aria from the this to the other questions or 2. Her grandchildren kept coming up to her. Trin couldn't answer in time. But Mrs. It was also nice to see the 2 grandsons. Caring about yourself like that is contrary to the excitement of Lean's 2 sons again. Had an extremely cold attitude towards her. Trin from the moment she came home until now. I didn't say a single question. Ma'am. Trin now spoke up to ask about her daughter-in-law. My Lean, this child's work is close. This is still good, but my parents live next door. How are you? My work is normal. Dad, your mother is still healthy. My leg was broken like this. Next time I'll bother you and take care of you. I know that's okay. Don't do anything to him. Affect your family's life. Your mother's room is ready. The room. Near the kitchen. Mom will pack her things later. Lean. Seems like I don't have enough patience to do it. Continue talking to her. Miss Aria answered her questions properly. Just like that, go straight to the room before. At this point, Miss Aria can also guess this attitude of the daughter-in-law, but when seen, Lean acted like that in her heart. It's also very sad, even sadder when you have a child. My son sees his wife treating his mother like a mother. But don't say anything to him. I also support his wife's attitude. Miss Aria lives in Mark's house. Equally boring for both son and daughter-in-law. No one wants to talk to her at all. Her only joy is the 2 of them. My little grandchild. Every day when I go, I will learn about Bao and Kai. Ran into my grandmother's room to play. This seems to make Lean unhappy. It's the same today when Bao and Kai are there. It's okay to play in Miss Aria's room. Pushing open the door, she looked at the 2 of them. My son, and said, you 2 are okay. When I get home from school, I run into her room. So go back to your room and do your homework quickly. Our mother has only played with her once. Just a moment, and he said he was in 3rd grade. You said you just have homework. What are you doing? If there's homework, Mom will do it alone. You said just go to work. Bao Nam. I'm in 3rd grade now. But there's still Kai. At 4 years old, he is still in kindergarten. The teacher immediately heard Kai's mother say that. Pouted his little beak and whined. With what Mom just said, it seemed like every other day. When he whines like that, Mom will agree. Let him continue to play with her, but no, today when Lean heard her son. After I finished speaking, she became even angrier. No matter what, she shouted loudly now. Mother, say you don't have any homework. Then get married and practice writing and math. I immediately went back to my room. Cho shouted so loudly that Kai was very scared. Immediately burst into tears. NC Bao was also scared. Before my mother's attitude, do you know anything? The children spoke like th in their hearts. She was very sad but still tried to swallow her tears. Went inside to comfort my little grandchild. My dear, please don't cry now. I listened to what my mother told me to go back to my room. The next day, the two brothers went down to play when they were free. With Miss Chloe, I heard what my grandmother said. They also pulled each other back to their room. Kai let out sobs as he walked. Amputated because crying sounds extremely pitiful. When the two children left, Lean turned around. Sang was upset and told Miss Arya Mom not to. I always drag my two children into the room. Their mothers play. They still go to school at night. Still need to study. Yes, I know, Miss Arya heard her daughter-in-law say. I feel so angry but I can't. Spoke up to clarify for herself. I know when someone hates me. No matter what. If you don't do anything, people will see. Annoyed to hear Miss Arya's response. After that, Lean continued to tell her since Mom is here, she also has to help me. Cook and do housework. Kid, I go to work all day and I'm tired and I'm still tired when I go home. What can I do if I have to cook and clean? I can bear it, but my mother's legs are like this. So what can I do? I'm still down there. My mother's hometown is used to cooking with wood stoves. So my family lives there. Up here we all use G stoves and mother electric stoves. I don't know how to use it. My mother broke her leg. If you break your arm, you won't be able to do it. Tell your mother to do anything much. Just need her. It's okay to help your child cook 3 meals. If you don't know how to use the kitchen, then I'll show you that you don't know how to use it. Mom, if you don't know how to get there, why ask Lean Dap? Replied Miss Arya with an extremely angry attitude. She harshly heard her daughter-in-law say in her heart. Still a bit apprehensive but it's okay. Lean agreed to show her that afternoon. Trin how to use her home's electric stove. She also showed her how to use a cloth. Other kitchen appliances Miss Arya has. It's the first time I've come into contact with you. Modern electrical equipment like this. So how to use Peter for you. The difficult part even though Lean has said it over and over again. Over and over again Miss Arya still couldn't. Lean can do it after a while like that. Having run out of patience, she grimaced. Shouted at Miss Arya's face, oh my god. There are so many. It's a simple move that my mother doesn't care about. Can I remember? Is my body suffering? I'm sorry. Because these things are modern. Too bad I've never used it so no. I remember the struggle of an afternoon. Trin only reluctantly remembered the history. Use kitchen appliances to see Mom. My husband seemed to remember so he immediately spoke. Then from tomorrow Mom cooks. Thuck. For breakfast, I will go to the market and put it in ready. In the refrigerator, remember to use carefully. Otherwise, the house will burn down. Next day, Miss Arya, start with your cooking. The morning and afternoon went quite smoothly. It was beneficial because she was alone at home at that time. So Miss Arya just boiled the vegetables to eat. In the evening, it's time for the Mark family to practice Mark. The most complete variety of dishes at dinner also. Will be richer now than Miss Arya is. Busy cooking rice in the kitchen tonight. Mrs. Cook braised fish for the whole family. Toy as a cook. Electricity but this job is for her. Trin has a bit of trouble with her legs. Just broke it so I still have to use crutches to walk. While cooking, she still has one hand. Cooking with one hand on crutches. Miss Arya's legs have to stand for a long time before they break. So when she stands for that long, her feet hurt. It immediately sent a feeling of pain. Because she's old, she can't avoid it. From accidentally dropping things. The broken leg made it more difficult for her. Picking up Peter but she still did. Try to cook a meal for your children and grandchildren. You know, it's best eaten when the fish is boiling. I need to reduce the heat but at this time, the forgetfulness of the elderly returns. Relapsed she couldn't remember to reduce it. What button should I press on the stove to lower the heat? The phone is full of tiny English words. She can't read in the house now. There's no one. Her stepchild still goes to work. Haven't returned to Miss yet. Arya doesn't know what to do. It's like its arms and legs are constantly moving its claws. Turn the buttons on the electric stove in front of you. Maybe it's because Miss Arya pressed too many buttons at the same time. At that time, The electric stove had a short circuit. There was a loud explosion and the electric stove started burning and black smoke started pouring out. The kitchen filled with a burning smell that made her sick. Trin was upset and choked on lean. At this time, she had just gone to pick up her child. I saw black smoke in the house, emitted, and a strong burning smell filled the air, straight into her nose, and shouted loudly in anger. Amazement of myself. Oh my God's house. What's wrong with me? Lean, go quickly. Entering the house, I saw my kitchen caught fire. She hurried away. Turn on the device. Fire extinguisher in the house with water tap above. The house appeared and used water to extinguish the crowd. Even if it's on fire, you can't stand still but run. Quickly go to the bathroom to collect water and bring it out. The fire erupted after a final struggle. The fire was also extinguished fortunately. The fire is not too big but it is enough. Destroy her kitchen and look at it. His blackened stove kept spinning angrily. Asked Miss Aria what was going on. What did you do that caused my house to burn down? So Mom cooks, but she doesn't remember. The note reduces the fire so it should be. Miss Aria stammered and couldn't speak. A complete sentence probably caused by the Luke fire. Just now she was so scared of Lean. There's no need to hear Miss Aria finish her sentence. She was angry as soon as she heard this. I yelled angrily, so I asked her to stay home and cook for me. With just one meal, she made my house a success. So if you don't want to help me, then so be it. Why do you have to show this game? She thought repairing this kitchen would cost little money. That's tens of millions and that's a lot of buttons. I just can't remember why. You're useless. Mom, I'm sorry. Miss Aria, I can only stammer out an apology. My daughter-in-law is so angry about this. This guy didn't pay any attention to her arm. Trin is being burned while the two of them are. While talking, Peter came home and saw him. There was a noise in the house, so I just went in. As soon as he asked his wife, he was also startled when he saw the blackened kitchen in the house. Lean, what's so noisy? My God. Hey, what's going on? I see. It's not your mother's work. I'm so tired. I'm tired, so I'm worried and called my two sisters. Came here to pick up my mother and left immediately. I saw them. If you ask like that, you immediately say what you want. Get rid of Miss Aria. Peter knows this. It was definitely caused by my mother. Asked his wife gently. If there's something wrong, you have to tell me. Listen, we have agreed. Let's leave Mom here for a month already. Now when you say take Mom away, I know. Where to take it now is your business. I don't care if your mother stays at my house. Just asking her to cook a meal is enough. It's like this. It's just a kitchen fire today. Will the house burn down tomorrow? I made it clear. You didn't give it to your mother. If you can go, my child and I will go. It's up to you. Lean's attitude choice is very decisive. This puts Peter in a situation. The awkward Miss Aria at the side could only shut up. Being silent makes me feel even more guilty. With my children after a moment of silence, Peter then turned to Miss Aria. He said, with an annoyed voice, Mother saw the harmful effects of. I haven't done anything yet. I'm going inside now. Pack your things. I'll ask you to come pick me up. Listening to my son finish talking, Miss Aria pointed. You can sadly go into your room. She doesn't have much furniture either. The clothes and prescriptions she brought from the countryside, she gave me everything. Put it in her old cloth bag. I'm outside the living room when Mark begins. Call your brothers. Mark calls. For Peter, it is known that he is leaving work and his wife has gone to live abroad. Play. Then he called Way Medium. After hearing what her brother said, she immediately shouted, Are you crazy on the phone? I'm living Peter with my husband's family. Why do you like to pick your mother up at Peter anytime? Okay, isn't it agreed that Mom will stay? My house is a month or so. Why did my mother cause a little trouble? Because of this, my sister-in-law doesn't want to let me stay. Then I'll call Peter. He and his wife picked up their mother and I called, but Peter is on a business trip and his wife is. Go back to the trading house and play now. There's only you. After all, you're my older sister. He must also be responsible to his mother first. But after a while of pushing, it didn't work. Wei could only agree with her brother. More than an hour later, Wei was at home. Of Mark she got out of the taxi. With a sunken face when the moon comes to his wife. Mark's husband is sitting in the living room. She did not greet her siblings but spoke. Where is Mom? Tell her to hurry up and go home. My husband won't let me go for long. Miss Aria. When you hear a girl's voice, try harder. Leaned on her crutch and came out when she. Trin left. Bao and Kai cried. There's a lot of them. They keep trying to keep Grandma there. But it didn't work, so it was Miss Aria. Left his eldest son's house. After living here for half a month as mother and child. It's difficult for Wei to sit in a taxi. Willing to tell my mother what she is doing. But I've only been at Mark's house for N months. Make your sister-in-law chase you away. Mom. Miss Aria hesitated and couldn't say anything. Wei saw that her mother did not say a word. Immediately continued to blame his mother. Previously, my husband's family did not like me. Because of my family's situation now. I even took you home to live with my mother-in-law Peter. I have an excuse to make things more difficult for you than before. I asked permission to go pick up my mother. She cursed me. It's been a while. Mom loves you. Mom, please go back there. Don't cause any trouble. After all, I know that I won't cause trouble. I can't hear their conversation. The taxi driver could only shake his head. Depressed, he did not think in the world. This is a daughter who talks to her mother. I can't even imagine that. This poor old lady was robbed by her children. How do I treat my grandfather and grandmother anyway? He was just a pitiful stranger. You can't help the car either. After 30 minutes of running, we arrived at my husband's house. Of the moon, Miss Aria saw it as soon as she entered the house. Miss Ellie and Long are sitting there watching TV. Living room, Miss Aria entered and bowed. Asked Mrs. Thong. Gia, yes, hello ma'am, your legs look. Is it serious? Even though Miss Ellie asked after her. Trin, but her attitude is very contemptuous. Usually my in-laws. Long. See it. His mother-in-law could only raise her eyes and look. There wasn't even a single greeting after seeing it. After my mother finished talking, I was free. I gently told Wei to bring my mother out. Aunt Hoa's old room will be taken away later. Aunt Hua. Long mentioned here as his old helper. Long family after Wei was married into the family. By Long, Miss Ellie laid Aunt Hua off from her job. All the housework was immediately assigned to her hands. Of her, Wei heard her husband say that. Immediately responded gently, yes, I know. After speaking, she signaled, let your mother follow Wei to bring her there. An old room behind the kitchen with furniture inside. The furniture was covered with a layer of white dust that Wei gave. After my mother arrived in that room, it was cold. I'll say this from now on. Mom is here. Remember what you told me already. After finishing, Wei immediately left the room. Sometime later, Miss Ellie's house after she arrived here. The more I tried to argue, the more I tried to talk to him. Wei is better than today when Wei washes the dishes. In the kitchen, she accidentally lost her grip. So she did it. I broke a cup and saw the broken cup lying there. On the floor. Wei was extremely afraid of her. I'm afraid that my mother-in-law will run down to save me. I was right as I predicted. Just a moment later. Miss Ellie went in her room to come out to her. She went straight to the kitchen and saw the bowl. Broke on the floor. She was extremely angry. Kill through gritted teeth and scold her. Oh my God. She smashes this vandal every day. This house only has such a bowl. Is that true? The kind of food that wreaks havoc on the family I raised. She now also raises her mother. But you still destroy things like that? Yes, I'm sorry. It's my mother's fault that I accidentally lost Th's hand. Clean it up now. As soon as she finished speaking, Wei bowed down to pick up the fragments of the cup. On the floor of Miss Ellie looked at Wei with light. His eyes were filled with hate and he cursed Dong once. Mouth, what a useless word. Mom came and I said Miss Ellie and then left. Went to her room after her mother-in-law left. Then Wei just cleaned up the broken pieces of the cup. Shed tears at this time she came from the room. Go sit down and clean up with your child. My daughter, she did and said to her mother. Help me clean up this mess. Mom, stop it. It's all because of you that I'm suffering like this. If the mother were richer, the child wouldn't suffer. My husband's family despises me like that. If you don't bring me back here, I won't be you. Living such a miserable life up until now. Mom. Doesn't help me at all. It's just making me miserable and I'm crying. Screamed at his mother after releasing it. Wei's anger was gone. Immediately stood up and left her daughter. Only a virgin can shed the tears she feels. I feel like I am a burden to my children. Wei is right. She cannot be a mother. Give your children a prosperous life. At this age, she has not been able to do it. What will help my stepchild? Things get even more complicated when Bitch is his sister. Long's family returned home to see and she was able to get married. Then Mo gave birth to a plump baby boy. Miss Ellie loves her daughter so she asked for permission. Bitch returned to her mother's house so that Miss Ellie could take care of her. The squirrel said that but everything will begin. Not even on Wei Bitch's shoulders. How much better than Miss Ellie? Even her. Even more outrageous than his mother Miss Ellie. Many also respect Miss Arya's face and hate it. She won't give up or blame anything. Said it directly to his in-law's face but Spades are clearly different from Miss Arya. That's her mother's age but Bitch is not. If you like something, you'll scold it in my face. She's today when Miss Ellie and Spades are sitting in the living room. Miss Arya left. I came out to drink a piece of bitch water when I saw her. Trin showed a disgusted face and said, "It's true that my mother was truly generous in raising me. A useless child in the house is now adopted. More his mother in this world is probably the only one. Mom alone can do that." Miss Arya saw everything Bitch said but she also. I'm a person who goes to eat and stays at someone else's house. So she didn't dare say anything to Miss Ellie. Hearing Anne's daughter speak so arrogantly. There is no intention to scold but to agree. She took advantage of this opportunity to mock her. My daughter-in-law said some unlucky words tomorrow. My daughter told you not to worry. It's because of her straightforward personality. Just saying that doesn't mean anything. Yes, I know, but it's okay to say it. Tell me again that your daughter is my daughter-in-law. Peter the First won't let him struggle raw. Besides making money, he just works at the restaurant. Happy, but her child is a real thing. There is only one useless woman in my family. Long is just a boy. He needs it. Have a child to carry on the family name. But her daughter is fine after the first time she had it. If you have a miscarriage, you can't get pregnant. One more time. Why don't I be harsh with him? She looked at her child. My daughter got married just over 1 year old. This year, I gave birth to a baby boy. Who wouldn't be handsome like this? I'm sorry but I also have to remind you. My daughter about her duties as a wife. Go Miss Ellie talks a lot all are. Criticizing the daughter of the mysterious lady next door. Next to hearing my mother say that with her face. Immediately looked pleased with Miss Arya hearing that. CH can swallow his anger inside. Can't do anything else if it's like now. Mrs. spoke up in response to the two of them. Surely her daughter's life will change in the future. Becomes harder. Miss Arya just stands. Then he said a few words to the two of them. Bitch went into his room and returned home. So Wei also started to get busier. Perhaps the pent-up years of. She had accumulated too much moon. Unable to resist her husband. So I can only be a little angry at my mother. Miss Arya was wrongly accused by her daughter Chu. But only. Can be silent without saying a word. That day was Sunday noon every day. Everyone returned to their rooms to rest. Miss Arya rests in her room. I felt stuffy so I walked on crutches. Went out to get some fresh air because he didn't notice her. Stumbled over a robot falling out of your child's play area. The secret is being thrown around in the room. Guessed. This morning Miss Ellie and Spade were hanging out. With the boy here but after playing. After all, those two people did not stow Peter. Come in and just leave Peter lying scattered inside. The living room is probably where those two people live. For Wei to clean up from the morning of the moon. I was busy so I couldn't clean up what Miss Arya tripped over. That robot should fall hard to the ground. On the other robot, a strong fall was caused. A very loud noise everyone inside. The house was also awakened by that noise. Wei was the first to run down. Go, she said loudly. Mom, what's wrong? Miss Ellie and Bitch also ran along. Right after that, Bitch was the one to speak. Before, she spoke in a very difficult voice. Wait, What are you doing making so much noise? My coaxing takes forever to fall asleep. I was about to take a nap when she stopped. Thanks to you. My baby is awake now. Cry out there. Miss Aria saw everyone leaving the room. Immediately tried to push himself up. This time it seemed she didn't fall as hard. Last time, people were a bit loud. But, can she still stand up? Miss Aria. Before she could say anything, Bitch ran to hold the child. Robot under her body onto the robot. Miss Aria gave birth to one, so it was broken. Bitch's arm saw this and screamed loudly. In anger, that woman toys with me. I just bought it for my child and she damaged it. Why did you destroy it? Yes, please give it to me. I'm sorry because I fell, so I was unintentional. Spoiled her son's toy. I'm so sorry. Bitch heard Miss Aria's apology no longer angry, she shouted even louder. Bitch just jumped on her. Trin and said she was truly useless. From mother to her daughter. It is the same. People who don't know are also people. I only know how to destroy it. Say it. Is it your mother? The two of them discussed coming here to destroy it. My family doesn't want revenge. Your daughter because my mother always makes things difficult for her. Is that right? It's not like that. My aunt. I'm so sorry. Miss Ellie is standing by. Next to girls just use angry eyes. Looking towards Miss Aria without meaning to. If you want to stop her, just stand there. After cursing Miss Aria, he cursed Sang Wei. After a while of screaming, she got bored. I went up to my room with my mother. The person who had left. Wei turned around and shouted. With my mother. Oh my god. She saw it and she did it. I'm sorry, bitch. She already doesn't like me. Thanks to mom, he hates me more. Okay, mom is still standing there. Come in quickly. Mom's room. Pack your things. Call Peter, come here to pick me up if you don't let me. Mom is here for a while longer. I was probably kicked out of the house by my husband's family. Lost Miss Aria heard her daughter say she was like. So just quietly shed tears and go in. In the room like that after 10 days at home. Her daughter was sent away again. That afternoon Peter drove to his sister's house. To pick up his mother when she went to Miss Ellie. And bitch are sitting in the room watching TV. Guests by courtesy Miss Aria up. The voice greeted the two of them but replied to her. Just the disdainful eyes of their mother and children. I don't know what Wei said to Peter. Convinced him to come pick up his mother. Sitting in the car, Peter doesn't tell Miss Aria one. Every sentence, just looks at her from time to time. That with an annoyed look. Peter's house is a small but very modern Peter apartment. When the two of them arrived at Tian's wife's place, Peter ran out the door to see her Miss Aria. She gave a very warm smile and said, Mom, are you tired from driving? Mom, give me your bag. Please be careful with this book for Mom's legs. Be careful not to fall. Mom, it's okay. Where can Mom book that? Even though Miss Aria said, I don't need it, but I still reach out. Grabbing the bag from her hand. I brought my bags into the house and told them my room. Mom is right over there. Please bring your bag. Mom, please take a look at your room over there. Is that okay, or do you want to change rooms? Otherwise, wherever Mom is, I'll leave it alone. Natural mother Miss Aria was quite surprised in advance. Fairy's attitude, she thought the fairy would. Just like his eldest daughter-in-law showed. Cold and disgusted with her, but no. She was extremely warm in welcoming her. This makes Miss Aria's heart sink. Giving an indescribable joy to Peter at. I just started talking to my wife. Just leave me alone. Anyway, I'm just here. Just for a short while. What do you say? That's strange. Let it be. Let it be. Mom, just stay here. My husband and I will take care of you. Be careful. He's like that. Mom. Tian turned to blame her husband and comfort Miss Aria. Peter, after listening to his wife's words, shrugging his shoulders, he looked at it now. Miss Aria and said, there's a lot in my house. Many modern electrical appliances do not. If you know, then don't make any nonsense comments. Heard my sister-in-law talk about her mother burning her down. Her brother's kitchen and then the children's house. One fire can cause the whole house to burn down. When I was still Lan, I went to the neighbor's house. It's a bit harsh to say, but it's true. Mom is here. If you need anything, just tell me and I'll do it for you. Mother Miss Arya looking at her daughter-in-law in front of her. I feel extremely touched by her. Chokingly told Tian. I know, Mom. Thank you. Peter also feels his wife. What a good woman and mother. Old, but he and his siblings are both considered a burden. But Tian treated it gentle and good like that. That's it. Made Peter even more confident in. I love my wife more than anything. Miss Arya and Peter both don't know that behind that nice appearance Tian is secretly carrying out a plan. Along her evil time that she, Trin, is extremely comfortable at Peter's house. Fairies are always close to chat with Miss Arya made her very happy. Peter, although somewhat cold, but nor did he say the words that made her angry. She was hurt after Miss Arya moved. Come to Peter's house and get a surprise fairy. Peter informed Miss Arya and Peter that I was pregnant and this happened. The two were extremely happy after Peter knowing my wife is pregnant. I don't even want it. Mom stayed at Peter's house with me last night. He said to Tian, now you have it. I'm pregnant. I'm afraid if I still let you take care of me, Mom too, will it be very difficult for you or me? Please send your mother back home to ask Miss Van to take care of her. No way. My mother's leg is injured. So when my mother returns home, I don't feel secure about her. If you live in the countryside, they will talk a lot. But if I have to take care of my mother, I'm afraid of you. It's okay to be tired. You're still young. If my mother is up here, I'll be better at home alone. It's even sadder for Peter to see his wife say that. I have to agree with her. Peter now. I love my wife more than him. I see my wife sacrificed herself for my family. I'm too much after that conversation with his wife, and one day Peter was doing work at his company. He received a phone call. If my mother's phone call is normal, then Peter won't answer the phone, but this time I feel a premonition in my heart. It's not good, so I picked up the phone very quickly. Peter's machine heard his mother's voice. The other end of the line sobbed. My child, get to the hospital quickly. Your wife and child have fallen. I'm in the hospital here. Mom, he said. Why did his wife and children fall at home? Peter couldn't ask for leave. Quickly ran into the hospital with his wife upon arrival, where the money has been used to save the child. Of two people also died after that fall. When Peter entered his wife's hospital room, the fairy hugs him. Peter is also very painful. I'm heartbroken to know this, but then still have to regain composure to comfort his wife. I'm Miss Arya standing next to see my daughter-in-law. So also crying out tears. Miss Arya in the hospital. By the afternoon, Peter was there. Asked someone to take her back to her house. Trin really wanted to stay with her daughter-in-law, but Peter and the fairy both disagree because of the legs. Her body is injured in every way, she pointed out. Can sneak away when Miss Arya leaves. Then in the hospital room, only the two wives remained. The fairy husband then hesitantly spoke with Peter. The first, don't know about this. Should I tell you or not? Yes. What's going on? Please tell me the reason. I fell because my mother hit me. Peter was extremely surprised when he heard that. However, he couldn't believe it and asked his wife. I said, why did my mother beat me? But why? It's because of the conversation you and I had the day before. My mother stood outside and went in. I heard it, but maybe my mother thought it was wrong. I quit. I want to send my mother back to my hometown for a few days. Now I see my mother's attitude towards me. It's very different, and to this day I can't stand it. So I asked my mother to admit it. I told my mother a little loudly. Today my mother asked me to get her some water to drink. I didn't expect my mother to say it was cold, so I pushed my hand away. I was so surprised that I fell down. That's why losing Peter sounds so terrible. When angry, he completely trusts you. What his wife said, and no one, a little doubtful, first saw Peter's attitude. That was extremely satisfying, but she still left. You seem to be a good person. I'm sure. At that time, Mom was so angry. Don't blame me. Mom, please bear with me when I'm alone. He left and came back immediately after Peter finished speaking. Immediately go out, and the fairy behind could hide the smug smile on his face. Peter came home and immediately knocked on the door. Miss Arya angrily she saw. My son came home and was extremely surprised. Peter, why are you going back to your wife's house in there? Who cares until now, but my mother still pretends. Okay, what are you saying? I don't understand. Don't understand anything. It was mother who did it. Hit the fairy so she fell down. I also lost my child because of that. Talking nonsense. What is it, Mom? When did you hit the fairy? Miss Aria couldn't believe that she was a boy. Accuse her of crimes that are not. Yes. Really, Peter doesn't see his mother. Admitted, getting angrier and shouted louder. Mom still refuses to admit it. I told you everything and I'm angry. Why don't you tell me why you're angry? Again, go a little angry on her. Who wants bringing your mother back to your hometown as a child, not a fairy? Why would a mother be so cruel and harm her grandchildren? I'm like that. Not at all. Little Peter, listen to your mother. It's not like that. Weru today. My mother was in her room listening. There was a loud noise and I saw it. First it was lying on the floor. There's no way I can beat her. My child. Only now does Miss Aria know the truth. Being nice to her is all just fake. She is silently separating her and her child. My son, Miss Aria doesn't know how to do it. I can only cry and explain. I hope Peter will believe me. Peter doesn't. Hearing what Miss Aria said, he pulled. She walked straight out the door and went in to get it. All of Miss Aria's clothes were thrown out. Peter told her before, I kept it. Mom, calm down. Go away or else. Don't blame Miss Aria for crying. No matter how much I beg. He won't listen. She could barely fold her clothes. I put it in my bag and leave here maybe. That was the time you were kicked out of your child's house. Felt the most pain and humiliation for her. Wearing his still cast leg. Go out. Miss Aria now looks real. Poor lady kept holding her bag. I wandered on the inside street. Miss Aria people don't have a dime now. None of them are familiar with the above route. Miss Aria city just like that. Wandering around. Thang in the unknown while Miss Aria. Walking on the street, so next door. She heard the voice of a boy. Young man. Miss, where are you going? Let me take you. For Miss Aria was about to turn away and refuse. Then discovered that the motorbike taxi driver was Mr. Tai, is the son of neighbor Mrs. Nam. Next to her house in the countryside. Thang just saw it. Miss Aria was extremely surprised and asked her, is that Trin? Trin? Wow, that's a bit. Why are you here? Yes, I still run a motorbike taxi. In the city. Why are you here? She should be at home with her children and grandchildren right now. Is it mine? Miss Aria heard the little guy ask. So it feels very difficult to answer. Tai found his question a bit pointless. So I had to laugh it off and say yes. My child. I'm sorry. I was so inconsiderate. So now, miss, where should I go so my child can take me, but I don't have any money? What should I pay my child first? My mother and I are neighbors. She went. Why don't you get in the car and I'll take you there so I can help you? Waiting to help you get to the bus station. If you want, back home. Tai heard about Mrs.'s location. Trin wanted to go so he helped her up. When the bus arrived at the bus station, Tai was still kind. Helped Miss Aria buy tickets after seeing her. He got into the car safely. He just left. Let's go talk about Miss Aria and go back to T's hometown. Immediately called his mother. No, when Miss Aria just arrived at her house. Mrs. Nam alone went over to check on her. Does he need help with anything? Nia village is so intimate. Trin was so touched that she did not expect the children. Treated by bloodless strangers. She is better than her biological children. Ms. Van also learned that Miss Aria had returned. That afternoon, she brought rice to her house. For Miss Aria, Mrs. Van walked in and said, Sister M knows your feet hurt, so don't cook. I have rice, so I brought it to you. Thank you for bothering me so much. We are family members, don't mind anything. Miss Aria was eating and Mrs. Van immediately came up. The voice asking, wasn't the three of them picking her up? I went to the city to take care of my sister or something. Her leg had not healed yet, so she returned home. Saw Mrs. Van's question clear her throat. Trin immediately choked on the piece of rice inside. The mouth cannot swallow no matter what. Down was trying to suppress the drops. Her tears. Miss Aria recounted these. Listen to the story I encountered in the city. Finished the story that Miss Aria told Mrs. Van. Immediately said an exclamation. Why are they? You can act like that. I'm your mother. But we were born in heaven. I think my aunt is so poor. Disdain is right. Don't say that. So without you they might starve to death. It's been a long time since they've been ungrateful. Just like that. It's over. Peter. Don't say it again. Just now. It's somewhat inconvenient for me to walk like this. I have to bother you in the near future. Then you can rest assured that there will be no trouble. It's impossible for Mrs. Van not to take care of her. His sister-in-law was formerly Mrs. Van. Refused to take care of Miss Aria simply because. Wants her children to be responsible. Who would have thought that Peter and his mother would oppose her? Treat your mother like that, Mrs. Van. Both are discouraged by their actions. My friend, after 2 Peter returns to his hometown, has also arrived. The day Miss Aria had her cast removed, the day she had her cast removed. Powder is also Mrs. Van took her away after. After removing the Miss Aria cast, she continued to attack, selling her sticky rice as her life. It continues according to your noble path. Her one morning when Miss Aria. When I returned from selling, I saw Wei standing in front of the gate. She kept looking at Half's house. Want to enter Half but don't want to miss Aria. Seeing the girl, he quickly walked over and asked, Wei, why are you here? My husband is not. When she came back, she heard her mother's question. Wei stammered and couldn't speak. How can you see your daughter like that? Trin became even more impatient and kept asking her. What's wrong? Tell me, Mom. Let's see, Mom. I can only say those 2 words. Wei immediately burst into tears. I hugged my mother, Miss Aria, deeply. The girl cried. She was even more worried after using it. My fake hand patted my back. Wei just comforted. It's okay. It's okay. I have you here. Mom, I'm suffering. If her husband and children were having an affair, he brought them all. My lover came home and I got sick. My husband chased me away. Mother, poor daughter. I'm fine. I'm going back here with my foster mother. Child. After a while of crying, Miss Aria and Wei also went into the house some time later. Wei is quite depressed but thanks to Miss Aria. Be by her side to comfort her as she gets through it. This time period is 1 hour and 2 days. My mother and I were eating dinner and spoke up. With her. Trin, my mother, I apologize so much in advance. I'm worried about pleasing outsiders. Treated my mother badly. Now I regret it very much. It's okay, who doesn't make mistakes? Now I'm back here with my mother and the 2 of us. Eat vegetables, have porridge, eat porridge. Wei, listen. When my mother said that, she was really touched. When deciding to return to her hometown, she also hesitated, much before she got married. Immediately expressed contempt for his mother. Usually one's neighbors and hometown. Now when she was kicked out of the house again, Wei also had an idea to return to this place at that time. Intending to stay in the city, she tried to get a job but couldn't find one. Who accepts Wei to work the shift when she asks? Into the company. They said she didn't have her period experience, so don't accept, but when it's in one. The fabric of a restaurant is a residential environment. This is too complicated when I'm tired. Nyat Wei misses her hometown and her mother very much. Many times she wanted to return to her mother's side. But then I'm afraid she's afraid that my mother will disown me. My neighbor will despise and curse her but don't. When the neighbors knew about Wei Ho's story, not only did he not laugh but he was moved. The member comforted her, which made Wei. I feel even more ashamed of my previous actions. Here's her next time. Miss Aria and Wei Nun rely on each other to live. Trin also showed Wei the recipe. She brought her sticky rice instead of Miss Aria. Sticky rice goes to the market to sell while Miss Aria stays at home. Cook dinner and wait for Wei to come back after this. Wei has changed her outlook a lot. Pay more attention and worry about her mother. The lives of Miss Aria and Wei go on like that. Continued until today. I received one. Lean's phone call was unknown. What did Wei say on the other line? Every time I talk, my face changes color. Miss Aria immediately saw her daughter like that. Asked Wei what was going on. Who is calling you? Your face looks serious. So Mom, Sister Lean just told me about Mark. Hospitalized, and then listened to his son. Hospitalized with the glass of water Miss Aria is holding. Hands immediately fell to the ground. Miss Aria. Wei saw that he staggered and could no longer stand. So quickly go back and help your mother. Sit down on the nearby chair that just supported her. Trin sat down and said, Mom, calm down. What's wrong with Mark? I was admitted to the hospital again. He had something wrong with me. I don't know anymore. I just heard what Ms. Lean said. It's true that he had an accident, but he didn't hear about it. His company seems to have collapsed. He still owes a huge amount of money. Hearing my daughter say that, Miss Arya almost fainting from shock, she tried to hold on. His spirit told way quick. I quickly got my things and took my mother to the Citadel. Mom's town is old and the car will be very tiring. Mom, don't worry, let me go up alone. That's what happened to me. I told my mother to stay home and do it. How can I rest assured that you will quickly get your things? Take Mom to the city. Miss Arya repeats her request one by one. Once again, Wei finds it impossible to advise her mother. I just had to fold a few sets of clothes. I put it in my pocket and went up to the Citadel with my mother. When arriving at Miss Arya City in a hurry. Going to the hospital with my son too. When people arrived, they saw Lean sitting at the hospital bedside, taking care of her husband. Mark is lying on the hospital bed above wire pusher and equipment. Sustain life Intermaster Miss Arya and Wei immediately stood up. Her face is now extremely hollow. The black in the corner of the eye still lingers in the drops. The water sparkled perhaps when her husband had an earache. She cried so much that she bowed her head. With a downcast face, he mumbled to Miss Arya. Wei da, Mom and I just came in. Oh my God, what's wrong with Peter, my son? The doctor told me how his health was. Yes, he had an accident, the doctor said for now. The crisis has passed, but when they woke up, they didn't dare say yes. Maybe he will have to live his life later. Plants. Speaking of this, Lean immediately burst into tears. Even Miss Arya and Wei did not hold it. Tears after a moment of emotion. Wei spoke up and asked her sister if she was sick. 100 British hospital mark like this, so you too. Who will take care of them now? It's a break, right? I'm sending you to the one at Grandma's house. Look at the situation of son and daughter-in-law now, Miss Arya. I feel extremely sorry for all three people. In Mark's hospital room until late at night. I saw it was very late. Lean, tell Miss Arya and Wei so I can take you. And Mom, go home and rest. Mom and me, driving from the countryside to here must be tiring. Then, if you two are tired, just go home. Mom wants you to. Here with Mark one heard you say something like. So Lean and Wei quickly said, Mother da. When I'm old, my health is no longer as good as yours. You too, Mom, just go home and rest first. Then tomorrow Mom can come with him too. Lean is right. Mom is falling for you now. If we get sick, we know what to do. Why did Wei and Lean try to explain? New Miss Arya uniform agrees to go home. The rest of the family will stay and take care of them. His brother Lee brought her to a house. She was quite surprised to see the old house. Lean saw the difficulty in this scene. Understanding in Miss Arya's eyes. She can only smile wryly and say from day one. My husband and I broke the floor of the house before. The couple and children also had to sell to pay company debt. I also cut staff. Lost my job. My parents are staying at Peter with me. We boys can't come to work either. If you bother them, it's very difficult to hire them. I got a small room here. My mother agreed. I'm here. It's okay. I have a place to stay. That's good, but I don't mind, right? Hey Lean, maybe after a day in the hospital. The body clinic also somewhat upset her. Lean immediately finished preparing a sleeping place for Miss Arya. Go quickly to the bathroom after your daughter-in-law. Once out of sight, Miss Arya immediately observed carefully. The room in her heart seems to be. Have made up your mind about something after many years. The day was well taken care of by his mother-in-law and younger sister. Mark finally showed signs. Fell in love again during the days Mark was in the hospital. There was no sign of the couple. Peter visited his brother Lean also. Found a new job, but she can't work as an office worker. Before now she can only work as a garment worker for a company. Small with a starting salary of 5 million. That day when Lean gave Miss Arya. Go home and rest. Miss Aria immediately called her, came closer and gave her a packet of paper. When opened, there are 5 or 6 pieces inside. Lean Gold Ring was extremely surprised to see this. Suddenly I asked my mother what this was. This is the amount of money my mother has worked and saved all her life. If I get the capital my mother wants, I will share it when I die. All 3 children but now wife. If your husband needs it, I will give it to you first. Hearing that, he immediately refused her. Tell Miss Aria Mom I can't receive this amount. This is the amount. Mom, work hard all your life to get more. There is also a part for you guys in here. Can't get fake mom then don't need it. I don't know about such a large amount of money. This time is very difficult guys. Mark's hospitalization has a lot of money. What do you need? Money for electricity and water? Monthly activities anymore on Sun now only. Just went back to work. Just take the gold. Sell this and spend it later. I'll have it later. The children buy it and pay it back to the children later. Wei also knows about this and he also agreed with his mother's previous treatment. If it's so bad for you, I'm not angry with you. Why are you still helping us now? So I am the mother of my children. Like the flesh and blood on the mother's body. So no one can leave their flesh and blood alone. When I was injured, I was just like my mother. I cannot leave my children when they are in trouble. Difficult so unhappy things in Peter's past. Let's forget everything and start another, better life. No matter what Miss Aria said, tears fell. She couldn't hold back anymore and hugged her mother tightly. My husband cried and said, Mom, please. I'm sorry Mom. I'm so sorry. It's okay. It's okay. It's over. Miss Aria also hugged Lean tightly and comforted her. That's the way she comforted her daughter. After more than 1 month in the hospital, Peter finally woke up I woke up and everyone was very happy. Uncontrollable tears. His happiness some time after awakening. Wake up thanks to the careful care of relatives. Mark's health has improved a lot. Quickly Lean also told the story. Miss Aria gave gold to Peter and his wife. She knows when she knows her mother gave birth to her. As much as he was like that, he was very touched, feeling guilty about previous actions. Miss Aria doesn't blame her child. She ignored everything in the past. I hope my children have a normal life. And in the future one day when everyone is sitting and playing in the room. Mark Mrs. Illness Aria asked, how have my children been since the day my mother came here? I didn't see Peter and his wife come in. Visiting his brother. Lean didn't tell him the news. Give it to me. Yes. It's not that I didn't report it right away. Mr. Mark had an accident and I called. Uncle and the person who answered the phone was his wife. Peter heard that her husband had an accident. Very wild. Even warned me. Do not call and borrow money from your spouse. She didn't know that she had informed him. My husband doesn't know if he hears that. I was very angry before when I was still in the village. She asked her mother what her life was like. At her younger brother's house. Mrs. Tin told everything. The story for Wei listen includes the reason. I've been kicked out. Now listen to my sister-in-law. I said that and she couldn't see it. Peter spoke up. It must have been a fairy. I covered my eyes before I was dumped by the fairy. Peter was unfairly kicked out of the house. There's sea on the outside. He looks gentle, but Mew's heart is full of thoughts. Miss Aria heard her daughter repeat old stories. Immediately spoke up and interrupted the conversation. It's over. But Peter, baby, anyway. Also his older brother. 2 easy brothers. Talk over money it is not one. Good daughter. I try to advise you. Mine yes. I understand. Mom. That day when Peter was alone inside. In the hospital room. He took his phone. I'll call Peter in a few hours. Someone picked up the bell on the other end of the line. Peter's phone spoke up and asked Peter. He was calling. What's wrong? I had an accident. It's been nearly 2 months since I woke up in the hospital. I didn't see you coming to visit me. So I called. I called to ask about you. What's wrong with your ears? After that, my sister-in-law didn't call me. I know that Peter had an accident. Actually, Peter doesn't know what the call is. Lean that day he didn't know either. Because when the fairy finished answering the phone, she deleted it. Always log that call when you hear it. Peter's accident was really surprising. Suddenly Mark sighed and said to Peter, Over the phone right after he had the accident. My wife called you. But the person who answered the phone at that time was her brother's wife. Don't talk to me again. The rich lady called. Why don't you see what your wife said? Peter the first tell you hey that wife of. I'm not sure he's sincere with me. You should review your wife's behavior. Let's go to the past. My wife had a miscarriage. It's definitely not what you did. Mom. Giving birth to my brother Peter. I was born alone and struggled. Raising Peter. My mother loves Peter. If we don't finish, there is no reason. Let me do it all. Peter listened to me. After speaking, the boy immediately fell into Peter's contemplation. Seeing you like that, just said one more sentence and immediately hung up. He just said that, believe it or not is up to you. After listening, what his brother said was in Peter's heart. A lot of thinking those thoughts, making it impossible for him to practice. Mark. My job is gone. Another Peter Dang asked for leave to return early. Hey Tian is playing with her best friend. She's in the living room. Ha is up now. The voice asked his friend. How are you and your husband doing? Your plan is still the same. Everything is the same. Are all following my calculations. My husband now trusts me very much. I'll tell you in a little while. It transfers all assets in the house to your name. At that time, I will hold his money and it's really scary to run far away. But this one is terrible. Doesn't anyone at home suspect you? How can you doubt? Even if you doubt? If you doubt it, tell my husband. I don't believe you know it's not just new. A few months ago, I was able to evict someone. I'll take his fake mother out of the house. Someone else's baby but mine. Said it was my husband's child then me. Afraid of the baby being born. If something happens, my husband suspects it is not a child. My husband's work is my own. I've finally made up my mind. Intending to destroy it and blame it on my mother-in-law. It was she who caused me to have a miscarriage that day. I bribed the doctor after that. Not long after, his brother had an accident with his sister-in-law. He called my husband but it was me. People answer the phone but I don't bother. Tell my stupid husband again. I know that Fairy Du Tien is sitting there. I had my back to the door so I didn't know. Peter is standing behind me. Looking up, he saw Peter's face immediately changed color. Quickly remind your friend to listen to you. When I said that, I didn't believe it so I laughed. How terrible, my husband hasn't come home yet. I'm telling the truth, your husband is. Stand right behind me and listen to you. I confirmed that immediately. Turn around and see Peter. A face full of murderous intent was staring at her. The fairy stammered in fear. Mr. and Peter, since when did you come back? Back since when you plotting to take my property? Yes, I'm a fool but I love you with all my heart. Please trust a poisonous snake. Treated his biological mother and siblings poorly. I don't, Mr. Peter, please listen to my explanation. Like to go, things are not as you think. No wonder the situation is tense. So hurry, run away and lose the fairy who is now kneeling there on the ground holding Peter's hand to solve the problem. But after what I've heard, be Peter no longer stupid to her. Another trick he threw away his hand. Tian Ji's face showed anger. His hand towards the door and shouted at her to clean up. Get out of here before I kill you. Hurry up. Get out. After a while of crying and begging no. The fairy can only go out sadly. Leave home when you know everything. Peter has no face to see again. His relative, the person he feels for. The one who feels most guilty is Miss Aria. Peter. I don't know how to face my mother like that. But no matter what, when I heard he had an accident and was in the hospital, Peter can't just ignore it and not go in. Was able to visit when Peter came to the hospital to visit. Peter, everyone is present. Here, Peter timidly washes the left basket. The plant I bought came to my bedside. Of my brother. Peter saw Peter coming immediately. Laughing and saying, is Peter coming to visit you? Yes. At this moment, the hospital room became quiet. Strangely, Peter only responded to his brother like. So he lowered his head and didn't dare look at anyone. This has been his habit since childhood. Every time Peter does something wrong, he will. He looked down like that and saw his son. I'm like that, Miss Aria said with a light smile. What's wrong with Peter? See? No one scolded me, right? Looking down like that, Mom. I'm sorry. I know everything and my wife is The person took that money and blamed his mother. I'm the stupid one who believed her. Kicked my mother out of the house until now. Knew she had been planning it for a long time. To take your property, Miss Arya, listen to me. The guy said that. He just sighed. Full of helplessness, she slowly spoke up. With my children, old family stories. I won't repeat it again. Luckily, Peter. Realize the truth soon, if not later will. If you have to regret it, consider it as if your mother gave birth to you. My body so that I can give up one. Bad wife. Mother. Previous stories. This is what I did. Mom. I don't blame you at all. My attitude towards you too. Mom. Don't blame anyone. Wei listens to her mother and sister. The young man talking now spoke up. I'm not the only one who's wrong. It's also wrong to love your mother after all. I understand everything in life. No one loves you except your mother. Peter the First and H gave birth to Peter the First have nothing. So the person that Peter we need. Be kind to your mother. When Wei said that, everyone agreed with her. Trin heard what her daughter said, and was moved by Mrs. Ba extended her arms to hug the three children. His child came into Peter's arms to comfort him. Little Peter day after everything. Mark's brothers finally understood. Receive the value and sacrifice of his mother. You are listening to a program telling life stories. The actual program aired at 12 o'clock noon and 8 p.m. daily above. YouTube channel Dead End Stories.